Welcome back, folks, to World of Warships Legends. I'm Soopa-Dave, and today we are in the Borodino, the Russian Jean Bart, I guess. It feels like a Jean Bart mixed with a U.S. battleship, kinda. I don't know. It's cool. I like it. Only had two matches in it. The first match, I spawned in, and PG Rapids was right next to me. So you can assume that we won our match and we didn't have a whole lot to shoot at, to be honest with you. We took our side and then won, and then we had the other match that I will show you. So um, pretty pretty solid from what I can tell. I don't know if there's another ship on the Russians like this offhand, but I like the uniqueness of this being in the Russian, I guess, nation list because it's cool. It's a kind of a cool feel for me for the Russians, which I really like their battleships and cruisers anyway. But this one is definitely pretty good. So let's go ahead and take a look at the commander. The commander is Lev Galler. I am much different than everybody else on Russians. For the most part, I build into the accuracy. So we are using Scharnhorst and Pablo Dio Ravel. If you don't have a Scharnhorst, you could use John Fisher or what would be another good option? Cunningham, maybe. But this ship, pretty accurate for the most part. In fact, surprisingly accurate. Flaming Arrow is her main base, or is Lev Galler's main base trait. So don't be afraid to burn stuff if you need to. And I'll show you that too. Both matches, I had some fires. I mainly shoot out of AP out of these, but there is times when you're going to want to shoot HE. Now we are using flammable cannoneer, generating drill bits, marksmanship, and reaching out XXL. And fight fire with fire as always. For our modifications, we're taking aim systems mod 1, propulsion mod 2, concealment mod 1, and we are taking the main battery reload. This one's particularly important because you don't really have to worry about your traverse speed on this because both of your guns are on front. So both of your turrets on front, and it's a lot of fun. So as you can see, it is basically in a lot of ways a Jean Bart, the way I see it, an AP Jean Bart. So over here we have three pretty decent heals. They heal back more. They catch you off guard and they heal back pretty quick. Only a 20-second duration. One other big thing about this ship is you have unlimited damage cons. So for Russians, that's nice. For your enhanced, you also have enhanced secondary. Not super handy on this ship, but the radars actually are very handy. Used them in both matches to help teammates out. So we've had guys in smoke clouds in all of them. So for survivability, 60,000 health, not entirely a lot of health. Your artillery, you got six 16-inch guns that reload every 23 seconds. So, a little bit kind of on the slow reload when you think that you only have six of them, but they do significant amounts of damage if you can get if you get some citadels with them. The AP on this thing is very good. I like it quite a bit. The AA defense isn't that bad. It's not great, but it's not terrible. You'll see in our match we had a plane. You're still going to get hit. You're still going to get taken out by a carrier. It's not an American AA. But at least, it'll kind of make a carrier think twice about harassing you slightly. Maneuverability at 28 knots, 1,000 turning circle. It doesn't turn wonderful, and most of the time you're going mostly nose in with this ship in a lot of scenarios. So you definitely want that turning circle's pretty atrocious. So, in detectability by sea, it's a battleship. You're not going to sneak up on a dead moose in open water with it. Now, the reason I want to bring this page up is you're going to obviously know the match I show you. The one with PG Rapids, I only did like 100,000 damage at like 2K base game. Not wonderful, but when you have two decent players on one side, that has a tendency to happen. But with that being said, the main thing I wanted to show here, guys, was not really much of my stats. It's only 2 games, but the main gun accuracy. This is very un-Russian-like, to be honest with you. And also, the big thing about this accuracy is at 52, at 52%, and it feels good. Like, it feels very accurate, but I'm also doing it at this 19.6 range, guys. And if you put a booster on, it's 20.1. And so you get that AP, it's accurate, you start hitting citadels. I haven't had a ton of luck in citadels, but I feel like the game I have for you is an important way to kind of play it, or a good way to play it. But as you can see here, it does have a 25 millimeter bow, so that means anything bigger than 14 inches. So basically every battleship you're going to run across in this game, for the most part, is going to be able to overmatch you, kind of, because it does have this extended belt here that basically does protect you from everything else. The extended belt, or icebreaker, some people call it, and that will save your butt. And for the most part, you can go bow into most things. It's just like anything else that has this icebreaker front. As long as you're careful, once in a while you get an occasional good shot through the bow. Most of the times you're not going to have that problem. This ship does have a little bit longer nose, so you can. But anyway, here you can see here, we'll pull it up. You do have this, and this is where the Russian comes out of it. You don't want to get broadside. I haven't got smashed too hard, obviously, in the 2 games. The 1 game, the first game, with PG Rapids, I actually tried to swing out wide so we weren't right on top of each other. And I did take, I think, 1 citadel, but I'm telling you, don't give up a broadside in this, guys. Just don't, okay? It will hurt. It will hurt quite a bit. And I'm sure you can see how high that citadel is. I'm sure at range you will get people, American battleships in particular, you'll get plunging citadels sometimes. But if you're playing aggressive like I do, and you're not that far away from people generally, you're not going to have much problems. If you angle in this thing, you are fine. As we start the match, it's disclaimer time. This is a beginner's video meant to help people new to the ship or new to the game. This is not meant for professional gamers that know everything there is to know about everything in the universe. There are multiple ways to play and build this ship, and I am an above average player, not the world's best. I make mistakes. You may see one in this match. You didn't come here for pronunciations. I'm as good as anybody at slaughtering beautiful languages all the time. So with both guns on the front of this Russian battleship, it is actually fun to kind of push in. You got to be careful. It kind of works really well as a support ship because it can be pretty tanky. If you're, like I said, plunging fire on it can be kind of rough. And giving up your broadside can be rough. Outside of this thing's super tanky, especially with a good heal. You don't normally have that great of heals on these Russian battleships. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and move up here. One thing I would normally do would swing out wide, okay? I would normally do that, but two reasons I'm not doing that. First of all, the ship is pretty solid bow in. And also, I have a radar. So my game plan, my long-term game plan, is to get rid of the destroyer, okay? So you can see we're already arranged for Richelieu out there, and I am spotted. So clearly, there's something either right in front of me or a destroyer. And I want to be careful, even though I'm an aggressive player. I don't want to go too far up. And the reason you don't is you do not want to get caught with a whole broadside of torpedoes when you're just sitting there bow in. So you got to be careful of that. You can see Richelieu takes a shot at me, and we are going to go ahead and take a shot back at him. He didn't hit me at all. And we realize there's a Brandenburg. Now, you will see that I decide I'm going to start backing up. Why is that? You rushing into a secondary ship or a ship that close range. You know, obviously Brandenburg's pretty solid close range. You want to be a little bit careful, keep your distance. So I start backing up, and also when that happens, that allows him to push up. Generally, that's what'll happen, and you can see that we have. I had HE loaded for the Richelieu. But to be honest, it worked pretty good there on the Brandenburg. Now, also, I'm not putting out a fire because there's a Suzuya here. And I want to make him move. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a shot at him. We're not going to complain about him burning us down. We're going to take a shot at him and make him move. He's got no choice. He's either going to get citadeled or he's got to back up. And so he does the right maneuver. He does back up. We get a pretty good heal off. And we're just going to continue to back up so we don't end up putting ourselves in a bad spot with this Brandenburg. Also, I have teammates coming out to the right. And that Suzuki is deciding to poke his nose out. A little bit too aggressive for a Suzuki. Alright? If you get seen in a Suzuki, a lot of times you're going to get hit in a Suzuki as we get 2 hits and a Citadel. So, and right at that time, the Brandenburg goes by sideways. But to be honest with you, in reality, Suzuki is way more deadly to me than Brandenburg. I can keep my distance from Brandenburg, and it's going to be a lot tougher. So we're focusing on Suzuki. Also, Suzuki, if it gets hands on a destroyer, going to be pretty powerful and hard to do as we go ahead and get rid of Suzuki. Now, we're going to go ahead and focus on Brandenburg. All right, he is the last one over here. We have done some damage to him, but we are going to push up now. Why am I pushing up? Well, he's got the broadside. Also, I have teammates to the right, and I want to get myself in a position to help the center cap. Our destroyer is not really got much support, and he's had to back off from the middle. So I'm going to adjust to my teammates. I'm shooting at Brandenburg, but right now I'm really just trying to get to the center of the map. As you can see, I'm in range of his secondaries, which probably not ideally super smart. Obviously, I should have waited about another 10 seconds. I would have been just fine, but I'm trying to get myself in a position. This thing has a wonderful 11.7 radar. Now, it's short duration, like the rest of the Russian ones, but honestly, it works just fine for me. So we're going to go ahead and take that shot as he's trying to tuck in behind the mountain, and we are going to go ahead and get the kill on him as well. So we're 2 kills in, and we are going to push up into the center here. You can see I was going to shoot the gap to the right, but then I see Connecticut. I don't want to go too far, give up a broadside, because he could get a really good crossfire on me, and we have to focus on getting him out because he's given up his broadside to me. And also that we don't want our destroyer to be at risk, and after we get rid of them, we should be able to, be aggressive. So we're gonna go to the edge of this island, and we're not gonna go past it, because if the destroyer is here, he's just gonna send torps. You can see, even with the accuracy have these because of the velocity of Russian guns, you get a lot of overpins. And you can see even at 10 kilometers on a battleship, I'm getting overpins. There's not much you're going to do about that sometimes, especially when you get a complete broadside like this. You can see we got a little unlucky on our accuracy there, but again, a couple overpins. I mean, we're hurting him, but he's now in a position, his guns are on the other side. He's probably going to die in a little bit, so you can see I'm starting to push up now. And I want to make sure our destroyer doesn't go down. So that's our big focus as we go ahead and push into the middle here. And you can see we do get him down. And we're starting to be in a good spot, but we're still losing points because we don't have the center cap. You see I switched to HE because my intent now is going to be going after the destroyer. I am located, so I am the closest person to him, so I know he's here. And I'm guessing he's not too far away from where he was last spotted. And you can see HE here is a good option with the 40% fire chance. You see I wait till I'm loaded. I do go ahead and then fire at the Z71. And we do hit him with a couple shells. And we turn bow into him because we probably are going to have torpedoes coming at us, right? Like he's, especially now that he's detected, he's probably not thrilled about it. He's probably going to send torpedoes at us. So, in the meantime, we can't see him now, but we're going to go ahead, stay bow in, and we're going to try to burn down the Richelieu a little bit. And really, because of the extra fire damage that French take, if you can get a chance to burn them down and they're angled to you, you definitely burn them down is a way to go, even in a battleship, honestly. And then he's now behind the mountain, and Bismarck is backing up. So we're going to try to get him on fire. Now, because the destroyer is right here, as you see, there's the torpedoes. Because the destroyer's right here, I am kind of trying to stay with HE as we get 2 fires on Bismarck. So right here you can see I'm thinking about trying to put another perma-fire or get a perma-fire on him. And with Richelieu pushing forward, I can definitely angle to Bismarck if he decides to shoot me. The only thing I got to be semi-careful of is if the destroyer is sending torps at me as well. So and we're kind of just waiting on our cooldown because we really want to get rid of that destroyer here. That's the most important thing. Now, at this point in the match, we're starting to take a little bit of a lead, but man, that can go away really quickly. So you got to be careful and you got to be diligent on make sure you're not messing up as you go ahead. We get Bismarck. Now, he was hidden for a little bit, so this is going to be a perma-fire if we get a fire, and we do get 2 of them. But it's not going to last forever. So I wasn't too worried about hitting him with another HE spam here, just in case. Like just because he's angled well enough, it will actually just shoot HE again. Also, just in case the destroyer goes ahead and shows his face near me as well. But as you can see here, though, Richelieu's pushing up enough here where I could, in fact, make a move on him. And you can see, too, I'm also was located there for a second. So I know right where the destroyer is. The destroyer is right out in front of me because our destroyer now took that over. And in a second here, you're going to see me stop backing up because I know I'm going to need to help the destroyer. As you can see over to the left, he is right there out in front of us. So we're going to go ahead and try to take a shot at the Richelieu with our AP since we do have it loaded. And we know we have a radar coming, so we have our radar here in a few seconds, so we're going to go ahead and push off. Obviously, Richelieu's probably dead, but he is hurting our team quite a bit. As you can see, it's almost back. We're losing points, and we have a 1-ship or a 2-ship advantage, so it's still a close game. And also, it's kind of comforting that we see the torps are gone by. Now, the reason I radared there before my guns were really reloaded, our destroyer was in a very good spot. And you're going to see our destroyer does, in fact, shoot his guns and help kill this Z-31. And with the radar, as long as it is, I'm only going to get 1 shot really anyway off my radar. So if I can help my destroyer, I'm good with that. As you can see, we get a couple shells on him. So we've basically, in a lot of ways, helped taking out this destroyer here because we've radared him twice. We've got a couple of salvos on him. And again, now our destroyer is doing a good job. This destroyer he was a little conservative, but that's okay when you're willing to shoot your guns when you're in a position advantage. When you have the advantage like he does here, he's got me. And he's got himself, so he knows most likely he's going to win this fight. He's going to go ahead and help me take out this guy here. As you can see, there is the one that we have 3 kills. That was close to 4 if I get reloaded there, but we're going to use them shells on that we had already loaded on Bismarck, and we're going to throw AP in now because not enough time really to go ahead and burn him down. Honestly, we're just going to go ahead and try to finish them all off. But you can see we've gained the cap control too, so as the game has a big leg spike, which I haven't had happen in a long time. So the servers have been pretty good. I think it's probably been 3 or 4 months that I had one of them leg spikes. But we're going to go ahead and take a shot at Bismarck and try to finish him off. And we do, in fact, finish him off as well. So we're going to move up. And this is, I think, in retrospect, we're going to make a mistake. And also, too, you saw that the carrier did focus us for a little bit. He lost some planes and then he quit. You're going to see me take this shot at the Enterprise. Honestly, at this range, it sounds crazy. But you're better off almost to shoot HE. And I know that sounds weird, but Russian battleships, man, on carriers, they just go straight through them. It happens too on light destroyers quite a bit as well. You get a lot of overpins in Russian stuff, and I should have learned my lesson here to have. As we get our high caliber there, I guess I didn't even see that. I should have just switched to HE right away, and I probably actually would have gotten Citadels. I've started to realize now lately, there's situations where HE will get Citadels where your AP will overpen. As you see, we do, in fact, go down to the carrier. There was not much we can do, but we do get our Confederate. And you can see he is the last guy left, but we played an important role. We won our side over on the right-hand side of the map, and then we helped the middle of the map and make sure we capture the bases, really helping our team in this situation. I think we were a major difference in how close it was kind of early on, and then we took control of the map, having won the right side, and then we moved to the middle, and then kind of dictated what the outcome was on the destroyer fight. Anyway, a Confederate, a high cal, a 3,400 base game with 4 kills. I know we missed out on Kraken, but that stuff's not important to me. Most importantly, helping our team win the game. Good ship, I like it. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time, folks. Have a good one.